Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. My name's Amy. If you're new here, thanks so much for coming. And if you're not new here, thanks so much for coming back. Today we're going to talk about my 12-week pregnancy update. So I turned 12 weeks a few days ago. I'm just now filming this. I'm actually about 12 and a half now, but if you usually watch my channel, you'll notice I didn't have a video go up last week, and that is partially because of what we're going to talk about in today's update, and partially because we just had a whole lot going on. So you'll notice my shelf is bare back here. We have been packing. We are moving to a new home. We close soon. And then we've got our very first Sukkot celebration coming up. So right after we close, we're moving. Or we close, we're going to Sukkot, we get back, we move, and then we have to put this house on the market. So we're kind of just packing everything up, which is why I've got nothing going on back here. So let's just jump right into 12 weeks. So first we're going to talk about the baby. At 12 weeks, baby's measuring about the size of a lime if you like fruits. About ½ an ounce and about 2 to 2.5 inches long. So growing, getting bigger, much easier to find with a Doppler. I do have a Doppler. I try not to use it too often, but we do like to every once in a while just kind of check and see what baby's doing. It's like Lily's favorite thing. Everything is going really well. I haven't had an appointment since my last update, but I do have one actually for tomorrow. So I will be seeing a doctor then, at which point we are going to do the non-invasive prenatal testing. So the next time I come back with an update, I'm either going to know the gender or be very close to knowing the gender, depending on how quickly those results come back. So that'll be exciting. Stay tuned. As far as development goes, all major organs have developed. We're ending the first... pregnancy brain. As far as development goes, all major systems are developed. Baby's got fingers and toes. We're nearing the end of the first trimester, which is fantastic because that kind of, it's like a milestone. You're out of the woods for a lot of things, reduced risk of miscarriage, all the things. A lot of people wait until now to announce that they're pregnant. We did announce a couple weeks ago. But yeah, all in all, there's not a lot going on developmentally now. A lot, you know, baby's just starting to grow now, and after developing, everything just getting bigger is kind of the goal. As far as me and pregnancy symptoms goes, I didn't do a video last week because my morning sickness has been awful. I think I may have mentioned in my previous video I've had morning sickness, not so much vomiting and stuff like that, but I've been just debilitatingly nauseous. I started getting nauseous probably about 5.5 weeks or so, and it's just been like, usually it would creep up in the evening or afternoons. Around like noon, I'd start to kind of feel a little queasy, and by like 5 or 6 when Tim was getting home, I was pretty nauseous. By bedtime, I was like 8 o'clock. I was just so nauseous that I couldn't even lay down. I wasn't throwing up very often, except for like when I would get a migraine, because my migraines typically come with a nausea symptom anyway. And so that on top of just being nauseous I was throwing up when I had migraines, which I've only had a few, but we'll talk about that in a second. So about, let's see, it was last week, one day before I turned 12 weeks, I was so nauseous. So nauseous that I could not get out of bed. Like, I spent the day lounging in my bed, trying to move as little as possible, drinking like ice water. My daughter brought me toast. The baby snuggled in bed and we watched cartoons. Like, there was just not a lot of movement. I felt so gross, and I was texting my best friend and my husband, and I was like, this has got to be like the last hurrah. Like, I'm just gonna pretend that this is the last hurrah. I'm gonna be super sick today, and then I'll wake up tomorrow and I'm gonna feel perfect and I'll be fine. So we can always dream. And actually, interestingly enough, the next day I turned 12 weeks, I woke up and that was the first day that I wasn't nauseous. The following day I had a lot of like, oh, that's my phone, sorry. I had a lot of less than savory foods, I guess, like a lot of sugary, snacky treat type stuff, and so I was a little nauseated that evening. But otherwise, it's been amazing the last several days. I haven't been sick nearly as much. I felt a little queasy here and there, but not the all-day debilitating nausea. So fingers crossed that is turning a corner and the morning sickness is over. Other symptoms that I've been having, I have struggled this whole pregnancy with like constipation. I have not been able to poop regularly since I feel like the get-go. And I think part of that was all the hormones and stuff, just because it was an IVF cycle, so we did extra estrogen, extra progesterone, and all that other stuff, and it just, there was a lot of hormones. And so I stopped at 8 weeks. I was able to start weaning off of the prednisone. At 10 weeks I stopped the estrogen, and at 10 weeks I stopped the progesterone oil shots. And then I weaned down and stopped progesterone suppositories entirely by the 12-week mark. So I'm not on any hormones now, and it's been a little better. It's been a little better movement wise, but I'm still struggling with that a bit. So I need to be really good about taking my prenatal vitamins with the magnesium and stuff, and I haven't been super diligent about that, but I'm trying to remember, and I think that that will help, and just keeping up the water and stuff. Also, I think being able to eat more and getting more fibrous foods in will probably also be beneficial. So here's to hoping for that. Otherwise, my fatigue has been kind of normal. I'm tired, but not so tired I can't make it through the day. Like, the debilitating fatigue is not present anymore. I still haven't gained very much weight. I'm up maybe a pound or two. I'm not showing a ton. I mean, that's up for debate. I was overweight before, so it's kind of like rounding out my mom belly that I had. So I guess I could look like I'm showing a little bit, but I'm not really tracking bump progress yet because I don't look necessarily obviously pregnant, and I don't need to see what I look like when I've got an extra 20 pounds. It's fine. So yeah, that's what we kind of have on the plan. The next update that I do, hopefully we will know the gender. There may be a gender reveal video. Before that, we will see. Otherwise, I'm doing really well. Things are going really good. I know this video is kind of short, but I'm like trying to film, and I'm pretty sure my husband's sitting outside watching videos on the top of the stairs while my kids are playing. And so if you can hear that in the background, I apologize. Sorry, I had to call my husband and ask him to stop watching videos outside the stairs because I was trying to film. But otherwise, you know, everything has been going really well. I feel fortunate to be feeling better. With my other pregnancies, like I threw up with my daughter. I was sick and throwing up, like basically at least 1 or 2 times a day from about 5.5 weeks all the way through like 22 weeks. And then it kind of tapered off and I was only occasionally nauseous. With my next child, my son, aside from like migraine, nausea and stuff, I was sick until about 16 weeks, and then it eased up and it went away. There's a child trying to get in my room right now. With my son, my second pregnancy, I had migraines much worse, and so I was throwing up from that, just from the nausea and then being dehydrated, and then it would make me sick, and it was just like a cycle. But with him, that lasted until about 16 weeks with just regular morning sickness. And then with the other two, it kind of like, my third son with Jacob, it was like I was sick, but it wasn't awful. I was throwing up quite a bit, but I started getting sick around 5.5, 6 weeks, and I was done being sick by about 12 weeks. I would throw up, but I wasn't nauseous all day, like debilitating nauseous. And then with Lily, my fourth pregnancy, it was like textbook. I got sick at 6 weeks. I woke up at 11 weeks, and I was not sick anymore. I was nauseous, but I wasn't throwing up. It was very easy. Like, it was just a mild nausea and it was fine. So this one has been different. Like, I just, the inability to function level of nausea is new for me, but I'm glad that it seems to be on its way out, and hopefully will stay that way. So yeah, that's basically all that I have for today. Not a ton of information. It's still early. There's not a whole lot going on, but hopefully, like I said, we'll come back with our next update knowing more about the baby, because we do have an appointment tomorrow. And then in between then, I'm going to hopefully get up some more videos, just kind of updating what's going on in our life and our move and things like that. And then we'll talk about prenatal care and how that is changing for me since we are moving away from the area that we're in, and we're moving about an hour south. So that's going to change a few things. But yeah, if you want to see more videos or follow along with this pregnancy and see how baby number 5 is doing, don't forget to subscribe below so that you don't miss any future videos. And thank you so much for watching with me today. We will see you back real soon. Bye.